Must become one with the Makoko seed. Tell me where all the other Makoko seeds are. It's not talking. I think it's broken. Maybe I should talk to the other one in the room. Maybe this one over here. I don't know. I need them to tell me about skill gems, because I don't know if I'm knowledgeable enough. Today's video is about skill gems. In your character profile, you can move over to the skill gem menu here. Once you've hit tier 2, you will have access to this. Every chaos dungeon and some other content will drop these little gems. We're going to move to the inventory here and just make that kind of the focus. You have two types. You have the little arrow, the diamond, the triangle, whichever way you want to call it. It's mostly a triangle, I would say. Kind of looks like an arrow. Which are a damage type. And then you have the circular ones, which are a cooldown type. So what these do is in your gem menu, you get a total of 11 slots that you can add these to make your specific abilities have reduced cooldown and increased damage. So this is a huge player power system here. So when you get them, they will drop in your inventory like this, and you can upgrade them. The upgrade menu is in your inventory. It's this little button here, the little gem symbol, and you click Fuse Gems, and it's going to give you this menu here. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can go about this. You can either manually put in each one, and they have to be 3 of the same tier. Now, they don't have to be the same type, so it doesn't have to be 3 of the damage ones. It doesn't have to be 3 of the same ability. It can be 3 of any. So you could do 2 of the damage ones and 1 cooldown one, and it will still work. Just 3 of the same level. Then you click Fuse. And when you do this, it's going to upgrade it to 1 level higher by combining all 3. So now we've turned that into a level 4. Now this random rolls between all of the abilities equipped, or that your character has access to, not equipped. So every single one of these ones. Including if you are a transformation class, there will also be the potential for your transformations. So on Demon Hunter, there is a like demonic form damage and cooldown. Now those gems will affect every single skill that you have in that tree. So that's why they become hyper efficient at being alts, and a lot of people like them. But if you're a normal class, this is your main, you're going to have a lot of different skill gems. You have to mix and match based on your playstyle. So maybe you want these cooldown gems for your big abilities, and you want damage on them as well. Maybe you only want cooldown on abilities that don't have damage. They don't need a damage gem. But you don't have enough to put 2 for every single ability. So you have to figure out what you want for your build. Me personally, I like putting the damage and the cooldown on my big 30-second cooldown abilities, and then just damage on a lot of my shorter ones. Sometimes it's also just based on what you roll. So if you, like in this case, I have Shield Bash, I may want to equip that because it might be better than the one I have. But in this case, when you try to equip it, if you already have either a better one, this one. So if you have a better gem already on here, it won't let you equip. Like, it won't switch it out. Or if you don't have a slot with that already on there. So I don't have Shield Bash equipped in here anywhere, so it won't allow me to equip it. So you have to choose which one's getting kicked out. Now, when you hit tier 3, they change completely to an orange gem now. So all of these blue gems that you've been acquiring through all out in tier 2, you're like, well, what's going on with them? So like this level 5, it's got 10% cooldown on my ability. I really like that one. Well, in tier 3, all of the blue gems suddenly get downgraded by 50%. So this is actually 5% cooldown, meaning that a level 3 orange gem, so like this one here, this one's got a 9% Guardian's Thunderbolt. The equivalent would have to be, I'd have to get 18% damage on a tier 2 gem to get the same effect once you hit tier 3. So it's kind of disheartening when you first hit tier 3 and you're like, oh, all of my gems just suddenly got real bad. But you have these gems drop constantly, you can upgrade them and start switching out your abilities. It's not too bad. You'll be okay. We have therapy via Makoko seeds, okay? You can just go gather some of them. You'll be fine. So, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell on that, except if you want to use the other system. So if you don't want to sit here and manually click this and fuse each time and try to figure out, oh, is this a good one? you can, so if you know that, hey, tier 5 is kind of where I'm at, I want to have that always pop in as a tier 5. It's kind of like the auto dismantle menu. You can do auto fuse. You can choose the tier and then the target level. So for me, I'm getting a lot of tier 3 gems is kind of where I'm at. I haven't managed to get enough gems to start moving up. So I put it to tier 3, level 3. So whenever orange gems come into, well, orange and blue, because I've set to tier 3, when they come into my inventory from picking them up off the ground, they auto fuse, and then I get to look at them from that point and decide, do I want to switch these out? Now, a big thing to understand about gems, one of the big values of them, they are tradable without fions or any sort of penalty. So you can trade them, you can put them in your roster storage. So you can see I have a bunch of the blue gems. This is actually where I grabbed most of these blue gems because I don't use them anymore other than the ones that are still equipped. And you can put them in your roster storage and you can move those over to another character. Now, obviously, my other character isn't a gun lancer, so why would I want to do that? Well, you can re-roll these gems to have the effect, a randomized effect from the class that you're currently playing on. So if we wanted to just go back to Nia Village here real quick, I'll explain some benefits of that. So maybe you roll a gem on an alt class that is so it's your alt, but it's a lot of people's mains. So maybe a berserker, a sorceress. So we're going to be going to this symbol here, this little gem here. So the gem expert. So on your alt, you're playing a class that is super popular and a lot of people want those gems. Maybe you're doing an alt that is a demon hunter and maybe you're doing the human form, but a lot of people want to buy that demon form one. You can re-roll the stat and you can see here, it will random roll between all of your abilities at that same level. So you can move it to your alt, and you can re-roll it and then use it on your alt. Now, this costs a lot of silver to re-roll. So I don't recommend re-rolling in Tier 2 because it's just really inefficient. What I've been doing is I put them into my roster storage, so like this, and then I take them out on that other character, and then I upgrade them. So when you upgrade them, it random rolls the class you're on. So basically, if I threw these 3 tier 4s over onto, say, my Berserker and random rolled it, I could get the Berserker's Bloody Rush. I could get that ability at level 5. So it slows down because you have, only so many ways that you can upgrade. But so the benefit of that, you can also sell them. So you can go into the auction house tab, so not the market, but the auction house. At the bottom, you got gems. So if maybe you don't like playing games of chance, maybe you just want to buy your, let's go with tier 3 because that's where I'm at, and maybe we want to buy an epic. We're just going to search for those. You can look at these crazy prices. So the bottom line prices for buy it now on level 5 tier 3 gems. People are buying them at this time, at the recording of this video, for 5,200 plus. So like this one here is Charge Stinger. The reason that it's showing Charge Stinger and just Gun Lancer's abilities is because I have Gun Lancer picked. If you want to see all of them, see what is the most expensive, which alt should I be doing stuff on? So your least expensive here is Soundwave from Bard. I'm not a Bard. I don't know if that's good or bad. You can also see there's a minimum bid here. So in 3 days, maybe you can score this for really cheap. You can go through and you can buy the lower tier, or not the lower tiers, but you could buy like your uncommons. You could buy them for cheap and then fuse them together yourself and, gamble on what it could upgrade to. But it's always 3 to move up. So you go 3 level 1s into a level 2. Then you got 3 level 2s to get to a level 3, etc., etc. Now, you can go all the way up to, your relic ones. So these are like plus, it's like plus 20 or something. They go real high. So legendaries plus 7. I think they plus 7 and plus 8. But you can see, like, they're just insanely priced. So if you want to use this in some way, shape, or form as a farm to sell these, as long as you have a good ability, it's going to sell for a lot. Because somebody else wants it, and they don't want to do the random rolling and chances and stuff like that. Like, personally, if I could find Surge Cannon damage, I would probably buy it if it didn't cost an arm and a leg, but it kind of does. So that market should level out probably long down the road after this video comes out, but you can play it by ear. And that's gems. Cheers.